Hello, welcome to Answering More Questions. Today, though, we start off with a grand adventure. Let's, come back to that first part. What is on that little island you tweeted about a long while ago? Yeah, thank you for the reminder. I'm very impressed that anyone would remember that. I assume you mean this, because I think this is the only time I tweeted about an island. I went on a little kayak trip with my mom, and just as an experiment, I guess, we went and planted a couple native trees on this pretty barren island, just see if they'd survive. Oh yeah, there are the couple eagles that live there. They'll come up again. Anyway, there was this little dude and this bigger yellow pine, I think. We went back there several times to water them in that summer. I'm pretty sure planted trees need a ton of water. It wasn't exactly the best sapling care ever given, but we tried. And now it is in fact exactly the 1 year anniversary of that planting. So we're back at the island 1 year later. Let's see how they're doing. Of course, the eagles are here hanging out. Terrible video, but yep, good to know they're doing well. Keeping watch over the trees, I'm sure. Probably not happy that I'm here, invading their place, let's be honest. Okay, here is the little guy. Well, the grass has grown. Yeah, it seems alive, I think. It's not totally dead and dried up looking. It maybe made it through the winter and the heat wave, but I'm not sure if it's gotten any bigger. Now, over here, we got the bigger lad, and okay, I think that's grown. Clearly everything around it has grown, but that's gotta be tall, especially that big branch coming out the top. I know it started out bigger, but I think that might have actually grown. Trunk's looking kind of thick, maybe. Got the water trickling, heat wave relief is here. Pushed some of the brush away, looking good. Cleared some of the grass around the little dude as well. Yeah, I don't know how to check the health of these. It seems okay, but not exactly flourishing. Any arborists in chat? Any dendrologists? Gonna tell me these are totally doomed and already dead? Yeah, now the seals are showing up. No doubt, also annoyed about there being a weird ape walking around on their island. Yeah, I think the tide went out. That's unfortunate. Well, that's all. Nothing too exciting. Trees don't move very fast, and they may not have enough root space or nutrients out there. Well, if someone somehow reminds me again next year, I can probably give another tree update. Now, about the first part of that question. Do you still sit down to wipe, or have you gone mad playing Cold War? Well, I may have gone mad in some ways, but I would never be so crazy as to wipe standing up. For context, this is apparently another Q&A classic. I didn't know people wiped standing up. I mean, it seems like unless you're doing an awkward squatting exercise, standing up would cause your cheeks to close, which is not what you want. Unless you have some sort of disability that makes reaching around behind you difficult, and no judgment in that case. Otherwise, it should not be hard. If you lean forward a bit, that's fine, but standing up, what is that? What is the radius of a Canadian toilet? That's a bit of a stretch, man. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can buy any radius you want. I got a nice big one here for my fat ass. Allow me to measure the major and minor radii. We're looking at 18.7 centimeters for this toilet. No problem. There you go. But like now you're talking about sitting in general. I think we're all sitting to poo, right? Are people doing the Chad hover in your own washroom? Okay, can we move on? How about a couple normal topics? What game was the most fun to 100%, and what can future CODs take from that? Hard to say. I feel like I didn't truly 100% mini games. I always got the camo, but for challenges, I guess BO3 comes to mind because it had a well-contained true 100%er goal, some grind, some more challenging stuff. I like when it goes through every equipment, killstreak, weapon, and attachments, a bunch of game modes, playstyles. That's what overall game mastery means to me. Doing it all, using everything. Also, using the challenges to encourage good playstyles instead of ones that sabotage your team or are super annoying. That's the main part of good challenge design to me. And then there's getting the ultimate hard-to-earn thing that says you did it all, and then getting to enjoy having it for the rest of the year. Awesome. Also, the hero gear was a great side mastery objective in that game. There was a similar 100%er in Black Ops 4, I guess. I did that one too. It felt like less to do, but the core system was still there. And Modern Warfare Remastered is an example of fun time, but the challenges had a few issues that made 100%ing not very viable, and there didn't seem to be any good support there. Nobody ever cared to fix or tune those problems. But anyway, if the question is the most fun I had with kind of mastering a game, then it would actually be the goals I created for myself in World War II, even though I didn't technically ever 100% those challenges, because I don't think they really laid out a 100%er goal, so I wasn't all that motivated. I did most of them, them. I blinded 300 enemies with the signal flare, but I remember there was a super tough gridiron challenge I didn't want to bother to get a team together for, and also more ninja diffuses I just wasn't feeling like doing for the third time after BO3 and MWR, with all the waiting and luck needed, but I was okay with that. I was loving my armory credit collection. Reticle mastery was hilarious, setting that as a grind goal for myself, and then seeing the bugged development thing pop up for it, getting all the variant collections, and finally ending up finishing level 1000 thanks to all those other goals. As far as what should be taken into future games, I feel I've talked pretty endlessly on what I'd like to see in a completionist system, so not going to spend much time here at all. It's not an easy thing to get perfect, but I think it should be easy to avoid some pretty big pitfalls. Clearly, the recent seasonal model has not at all hit the spot for me, with Season 0 feeling like you're wasting your time, snooze fest, and then rolling out what, to me, are unexciting mini-mastery rewards, plus the resetting rank. I hope there can be a return to form in the future. Even with the seasonal model clearly not going anywhere, I don't think it has to in order to have a better overall challenge grind and proper prestige back. Just have a few seasonal objectives tied in with the battle pass and the event challenges. That'll be cool. That's enough with the new content to get people coming back to check out the season, I think. And then there can also be more of a focus on permanent progression to give me something to care about. So I wanted to cover that to lead into this. If Cold War had an in-game currency system like in BO3 or World War II, would the community be more excited to play the game? I don't know. Honestly, probably not. It's a big thing I always mention that I'd like to see, but I get that it's probably not what most people care about. I practically play these games like a grindy MMO. I sometimes care about gameplay, like the war mode was great for that, or like Warzone with friends, then of course I want to win, that's the point. But usually I want to collect and earn all the cool things. World War II, after it escaped its rough patch, really hit that spot in a few ways. You mentioned the BO3 currency too? I hardly remember that. Wasn't it just crypto keys you used to open supply drops? I don't think that really counts to me. I know MWR and Infinite Warfare had salvage systems as well, but with World War II, because it's what I know best, you earned the drops, but then you had those armory credits that were tied into the Postmaster and the social space and the daily and weekly orders, the special contracts, and then you could fairly easily directly unlock what you wanted. That was great. I don't like that supply drops can kind of prey on people with gambling problems and there's all the drama that surrounds them. I don't want that back, of course. It wasn't the supply drops I liked about World War II's system. It was just the fact that the cool stuff was earnable. I got it all just by playing, and that isn't the case anymore. There can be some fancy stuff in the battle pass and it gives you your points back, but a long time played track where everyone gets the same stuff for playing has got to be the most boring way to be given content. And I don't really feel any pride or interest in earning anything in there. So with there being such a huge shift to the shop and the bundles, the stuff that they let you earn feels like a few pity items that always have to pale in comparison to the $20 bundle. Not that I even want most of what's in there, but sometimes there's something I would want to earn, like having a pet Komodo dragon would be pretty sick. It's pretty dumb, but still, it's big lizard. I love him. But I wouldn't feel any joy just paying for it. So it could be cool if there were an alternate currency that I could be earning through doing dailies and weeklies and participating in events and completing season challenges, battle pass, whatever. If I could be doing specific things to collect that, save it up to be able to buy something actually cool, I would enjoy that. The feeling of your time being rewarded, getting rich in-game. You might say just let people earn COD points then. I do think an alternate currency with some different uses works better. It just feels better to see what you've earned be separated from what you can easily pay for. I might want to do a daily to collect up 100 credits, not really for 7 cents. And you might say they would never do this because it would cut into profits. Yeah, probably, but there is an argument that it might not, beyond possibly a more engaged player base. I feel like when you're using purchased cosmetics, there's a stigma of like, well, you just wasted your money on that, not impressive, nobody cares. Whereas if it could have been bought or earned, well, now you don't know how they got it. And tons of people will still see something they want and hit buy to skip the grind, because they don't want to hop on for challenges every day. I imagine some people would be more likely to buy in that case. So I really have no idea how revenue would be affected. It depends how much of their money comes from a whale buying every single bundle versus someone just buying the one or two that catch their eye, because that second scenario is the one that would take a hit. And I know balancing it would be tricky, like how fast should people be able to earn themselves a free bundle of their choosing. No doubt people would complain about it being too slow. Yeah, to be clear, that's not my dream system. Even if it were suddenly like that, all the stuff in the shop now had an option to buy with an earnable credit. It's still sad that the days of hero gear are long gone. Earning all the gold operator skins is definitely more meaningful and fun than collecting some credits to get a shop bundle for free. Because even with the separate currency, you'll still run into the time is money comparison. Well, I could just go to work and buy this in an hour, or grind this game for 10 hours and get the same result. Yeah, earning something unique like hero gear that you can't buy is definitely better. But anyway, at least there are the mastery camos, right? That's still something. And yet people are always asking for more camos to be sold. Yeah, great, let's replace the last big, prestigious, earnable thing with more shop content. That's why I know I must be in the minority, treating COD like an MMO, being all about the completionism and wanting to stockpile a currency. Last thing to mention here, the recent Cold War update is very relevant, because they did two things. One, they added XP and weapon XP tokens as a daily challenge reward, so that is something, but still a very temporary buff that I don't feel I have a real need for. That's not what would make a daily feel important to me. But second is about the one example of Cold War having a currency system, the prestige keys. I always said they had potential, and they finally added a couple blueprints to the prestige shop, something I've been requesting since the first time they ever revealed the concept of prestige keys pre-launch. So there are now a couple of these that cost a few keys each. Alright, that's great. That's clearly better than just emblems and cards where you buy the one you want and now keys are useless to you. But this is still a far cry from what I was pitching about prestige mastery gear and mastery blueprints that might cost 10 or 20 keys. Truly big goals to save up for. That's what I like about the whole currency system thing and completionism and grind in general. The potential for going above and beyond the norm. Although at this stage in the game it would have to be unlocked by spending that number of keys total, because people who blew all their keys on cards would not be happy. Anyway, that's fine though. At least something happened there, and maybe some more blueprints on the way, because this isn't exactly the most impressive. This is just the pre-order skin. You know, I want to be clear, even if everything I asked for suddenly came true in Cold War, like a huge prestige shop expansion and elaborate 100%er overhaul, well then I know I would come across as a super ungrateful bitch, because I would still not dive back into grinding Cold War. When I give all this feedback, it's really not about hoping for changes to Cold War, because I know that's unreasonable to expect to happen so quickly. It's about the future, and hopes for the next games. At this stage in the game's life cycle, that just feels too late to want to dive back in full force, no matter what gets added or changed. Just thought I could mention that, because I know I may be coming across as impossible to please if Cold War takes a step forward that I've asked for, and my reaction is just like, okay then. That's enough current COD talk. How about this here? Several people asking about SM2, if I've seen it, thoughts on the project. Yes, for sure, I have seen it come up now and then. If you haven't, SM2 is a modded COD project in development based on the Modern Warfare 2 engine and meant to be the dream mashup of tons of COD maps and weapons with modern quality of life features. Hey, an in-game currency, what do you know? It's a very grassroots, community feedback-driven project, which is a wholesome change of pace when COD itself feels like a completely unreachable giant making some unpopular decisions. You can read all about the project on their website here, and yes, of course I think it's super cool. It's very impressive what they're showing off here, and of course I'd try it whenever something becomes available. I'm also concerned about some things though, like, do I think it'll be the next COD Online? How could it be when it isn't official? I'm afraid that if this gets too popular, surely Activision's gonna have a problem with that, right? Is it okay because this doesn't seem to be for profit at all? I assume there'll be community-run servers, but it's clearly all Activision's IP that they could enforce if they felt this were getting so popular that it's actually taking players away from what they want to sell people. I know there have been other modded COD clients that Activision doesn't seem to care about, but the scale of this project seems so impressive that I'm worried, that's all. That so much work has clearly gone into this, and I don't want it to get slapped with a cease and desist on launch day. I don't know what the creators are thinking about all that. Maybe they know all the details that I don't know, and they're well prepared for any legal stuff that might get thrown their way. Or they're just assuming it'll be okay. And maybe they're right. I don't know what I'm talking about. Or maybe it's a big trick. It actually is an official game pretending to be a wholesome grassroots mod to trick people in. All the hardcore guys they've been pushing away with their matchmaking. This is a trap. They knew how to make the perfect game all along and have just been waiting for the right moment. Clever girl, Activision. Yeah, no, but all the descriptions of this project are amazing. I guess I'm not saying much about the game itself, but that's because so much of it clearly seems like what is the right decision to me. And I wouldn't be saying much other than reading off their site, being like, yep, love to hear that. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Excellent. And it's still being worked on, so I'll just say it looks like incredible work being done here, and I hope it's allowed to exist. I don't know if I'll be investing a ton of grind time into it, but it looks very fun to try out, and if it does launch in a good state and stick around, it could be fun to grind out that currency, unlock all the cosmetic weapon variants. Very cool. Best of luck, SM2 guys. Looking forward to it. Black Ops 4 is one of the free games on PS Plus this month. Is it worth playing at that price? Is this just a joke about Black Ops 4 being bad? I mean, free is a pretty good price. and if I'm not mistaken, you can claim it now and own it forever. It's not just like a 1-month trial. So, I don't know. Is it worth it? Questions are always tough, because that's a personal decision. Is there something about BO4 you think you want to try out? Multiplayer, the zombies? I think it was an okay COD game. Blackout would probably be the main reason to want to try it out, even if you already own the game, with this free-to-play period bringing some players back into that mode. If you're sick of Warzone, but still a BR fan, it could be refreshing. I think the map is less campy, and the looting part can be fun. Warzone's loadouts are more fair and competitive, but dealing with the RNG loot can be a big part of BR fun, makes every game different. Having no way to revive teammates, though, I do think that sucks. If someone dies early, you may just want to leave. Probably the best parts about Blackout, though, is just that it doesn't suffer from all the popularity-related problems of Warzone. I see a lot of people remember Blackout super fondly compared to Warzone now, and I kind of do too, but I think you gotta recognize it was kind of new, kind of fresh, and a lot of Warzone's issues stem from its popularity and the free-to-play aspect. The tons of cheaters and sweatiness TTV culture is kind of suffering from success in that regard, also from ineffective anti-cheat. Anyway, it's not like Blackout's a flawless experience, but a return to it could be fun. Only you can decide if that sounds worth your time and console space. Nice change of pace here. Do you read any books? You're currently going through the Expanse and Witcher books. Very cool. Well, not really, I must admit. I didn't pick this because I have a good answer, because I don't. I guess I just picked it to say, that's wholesome, and I agree that reading is good. I'd like to get into a good book series, very relaxing, good escapism from a crazy online world, but yeah, not into anything right now. The only thing I've read recently is, I still have these Redwall books on my shelf, because I brought them with me moving out. They're kind of kids' books, but I have reread a couple of them semi-recently, just whenever the power went out in the winter, there wasn't much to do. But anyway, yeah, I got no good answer to this question. I've heard some ideas of good fiction series people are loving. Even what you're reading there sounds good. I just gotta pull the trigger and actually set aside the time. Oh well, guess I just wanted to say, glad you're enjoying some reading. Everyone should consider picking up a good book. Alright, unrelated, not really a question, and not quite as enriching as a book, but I just thought I'd mention I got BTD6, alright? Several people mentioned liking it, calling me out for still playing 5. I didn't know if it was good or not, I was sticking with what I know, but alright, fine, whenever I'm out of the house and I need a phone game now, I can start unlocking all my upgrades. I don't actually need a phone game very often, but there you go. It does seem pretty in-depth, pretty cool. Alright, that's gonna wrap up questions part 2. Don't want them to be too long. Didn't get through a ton this time. Probably talked too much about COD again. But alright, fun times. Plenty more to come. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.
We run.
Oh, what the fuck? Dude, where am I? Where am I? What's going on?
What the heck? You're frozen underground.
What?
Yeah, dude, I don't know what's happening.
Looks like you're repelling.
Yeah, dude, I'm traveling. I'm traveling through the world right now.
Oh no.
I'm slowly moving. I'm gonna share my screen. Look at this. Look at this. I started in the basement, and I am slowly drifting away.
Oh, you're right. You're in the wall right now.
Yeah, I'm like, I grabbed onto the grappling hook, got jettisoned into the basement, and now I'm just slowly moving to a location. I'm afraid to like push buttons right now, because I think I'll just let go and die. And I don't want that to happen.
I think I see death coming at this point.
Nah, I can make it out of this, right?
You're rising up slowly. You're gonna go down.
He's rising up.
There's a floor here, and it's not gonna let me rise through it.
And this guy.
Do you see
Bouncing off of it.
Like I just
I don't want to do this no more.
Are the zombies noticing me at all? Are they like pathing to me?
No.
You are moving slightly like to the right.
Yeah.
You're getting close to coming through the floor. I'm hyped.
I wonder how that initiated.
Oh wait! Whoa, guys!
Oh, he's ascending! He's attached to the rope!
I'm coming! Dude!
Save!
Dude,
Recovery!
What the frick?